Thank you, Dr. Jenkins. I really appreciate that. I was expecting to be later in the program because there's so many dynamic speakers that I was going to look forward to hearing. Charlie Hertz out there. Charlie's one of my heroes. I watch him on Fox all the time, and he keeps me up at night, but I still like to watch him. Charlie, did you get that? My remarks are going to be rather brief. You have so many speakers that are very eloquent and cover the waterfront so well. The problem that we have in this world, in my opinion, is that we need more action by more people. One of the things that Mother Moon has done is she's reached out to ministers from across the world, legislators from across the world, executives from across the world, to create a number of organizations that will reach out and strive for the peace that we all look for. I am chairman, as Mike said, of the International Association of Parliamentarians for Peace. We have over 7,000 members now in about 120 countries, but we need a lot more. When you have the prospects of a war with Russia and the Ukraine, or the prospects of a client state attacking another, or if you have a prospects of China maybe going across the China Sea and attacking Taiwan, you wonder if there's ever going to be any peace. Governments try to bring about peace. We talk to Chinese leaders. Our presidents talk to Chinese leaders. President Trump did. President Biden has. But peace has not stopped these people. These people continue to wage the possibility of a war. Right now, there's people that worry after this conference is over. Well, thank you, honey. My wife just gave me my speech. A little late. Since she did that and she loves me so much, would you stand up so everybody can see you? This is my wife, Dr. Samia Burton. And without her, the sun doesn't shine. I guess I'd like to confine my remarks real briefly to Dr. Hak Ja Han Moon. She's one of my heroes, a heroine. She spends her life, literally her life, trying to bring about peace throughout this world. She has conferences all over the place, in Africa, in the United States, in Russia, all over Europe. And she's trying to bring everybody together so we can find solutions to our problems without another conflict. As I mentioned before, we have the possibility of a conflict in the South China Sea. We have the prospect of a conflict between Russia and Ukraine. And I'm not sure that anybody can really stop that, except if we have people around the world working together to put pressure on the leaders so that they know that what they do is not going to be acceptable to human beings around this world. As I said before, we have over 7,000 members. Now, I thought that was Mike Pence, Vice President Pence, that was going to start that. Incidentally, let me just say one of our best vice presidents that we've ever had has been Vice President Mike Pence. And I have to get a plug in for my mentor when I was in Congress, the Honorable Newt Gingrich. He's the guy that taught me everything I know, so Newt, thank you for that. And Callista, forgive me. Anyhow, I want to make this very brief because you have a lot of speakers to hear from. We need more people like Mother Moon who's willing to go that extra mile to bring about peace. She spent time, money, effort, day in, day out, month in, month out, all over the world trying to bring about peace by getting everybody together. As I said before, we have 7,000 members of the International Association of Parliamentarians for Peace. We ought to have 100,000 members. When you go back to your countries, please talk to your legislators, your congressmen, your parliamentarians, those who are in now and who have been in before. Tell them how important it is that collectively, and I use that term advisedly, collectively that we all work together to put pressure on the leaders to let them know we don't want another nuclear war. We don't want another conflict that's going to lead to a possible war, a widespread war. We need to let them know that the only path to solving the problems in this world is through peace, and that they need to sit down with their adversaries, and say, what can we do to work this out? And many of them won't do that. As you've heard from speakers before I started talking, we have those who think they're a god, for instance, and they don't listen to anybody because they have the answer to everything. And so we need to let them know they are not God, and that there are millions and millions of people out there who are concerned about a nuclear holocaust which could wipe all of us off the face of the earth. And we don't want that to happen. And the best way to avoid that is to let leaders around the world, in China, in Russia, all over the world, that if they start a war, they're going to have everybody opposing them. That doesn't mean we're all going to be going to war with them, but you ought to let them know that's a possibility. You're not going to win what they want by war. Peace is the only answer, and God bless Mother Moon for everything she's doing to try to bring that about. Thank you very much.
We're so great.